It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV.
Go ahead, Phil.
You said go ahead?
Yep, go ahead. We're live. They just heard you say that.
I was coughing. I'm sorry. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. I'm one of your hosts, Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, alongside the Draw in a not revival shirt or FTR shirt, as I should say. Jackie Rodriguez, what is up?
What's up, everyone? Like I said, everybody wish Infinity a happy birthday in the chat. It is his special day. Cheers to Pops. Happy birthday. We love you.
Can't believe you're over 30.
That's crazy.
Again,
it's crazy to go over 30, man. It's just I didn't think that
I thought we capped at 30 personally. Like I stopped growing at 30.
Yeah, like I'm turning 30 in May, so like I don't think I think I'm capped there. I don't think I'm getting.
I was gonna say, but you're legitimately turning 30, not like the rest of us that are just lying about it. But But yeah, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good evening, and we're ready to talk some AEW Dynamite.
And we also have the king of talk style, Mr. Defiant himself, Anthony DiStefano. What is up?
Oh, you just hit me with the Defiant. Ooh,
I've been doing it for weeks, bro. We're trying to build up.
Yeah, that's happening soon. The Twitch channel. Hopefully I have more than 30 followers. It's been a day here. It's been a fucking day. Twitter's a cesspool.
What else is new?
I'm going to be going through the list tonight, and if you made the cut,
it's like it's like Hard Knocks, bro. You guys,
it's like Hard Knocks. Open the locker, because it's just such bullshit. You got people who don't leave their house fucking tweeting me. Come on now, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Come on, man. Get the sucking ducking. Come on.
Come on now. Oh, shuck it, duck it.
That other voice you hear.
Well, we're about positivity here. We're about positivity.
Phil can't even say it.
I know Kyle hasn't won a spelling bee in a while, but still. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm the worst speller of all time.
I just chalked it up to the Canadian thing. You guys spell finger different.
Like, you guys spell center CENTRE, but whatever.
If there's ever a leader of like the people that want an edit button for Twitter, you're looking at.
Yeah.
I'm horrible
for anybody who wonders, who followed the show and was like, how come Phil stopped using the Twitter account? Is because I cannot spell for shit, and I try to. And I have like all these crazy autocorrect things in my
autocorrect. You just autocorrect it yourself.
Yeah. I can't even speak either. But Kyle, what's up?
Oh, Phil, you're in my boat then. You can come on my boat.
All right, cool. Thanks.
I probably shouldn't be using that app, but I'm doing good. What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody in the live chat. Hope you guys are all doing well here to talk some Elite. We got a lot of cool things to talk about today because Dynamite last night was.
Dynamite.
It was Dynamite. There's a lot to talk about, and there's a lot to dissect from it, which is great. It was a good episode. It wasn't like a knock out of the park amazing episode, but it was like an episode that is going to get you talking because so much happened on this episode. They're like, okay, where are they going to go from here? There's a lot of stuff that happened. I can't wait to get into it, but I'm doing all right. I fell victim to a Twitter scandal. I don't know what the hell we're calling it. Twitter something.
Grammar police.
No,
Am I canceled yet? Is this a thing?
Come on, guys. People that knock on you for misspelling on Twitter, man. Like really? Like Twitter doesn't have an edit button.
There's so many other things to make fun of Kyle.
I'm like, hold up. Dynamite trends every single Wednesday, and you're gonna rep on me, okay? Like Dynamite is trending.
Just to go on the spelling thing, I've had multiple people go, why'd you name your episode Rama Page last week?
Because we can't spell clearly here.
That's an inside joke that we probably should have told people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said it. I listened back. I said it. It was an inside joke. People just didn't listen. All right. Rampage is what we call it. Anybody who don't. And thank you for everybody for tuning in last week to the first episode of Good Morning Elite. We have another great one planned for this week. We're trying to get the entire team on this week. We'll see how everything goes. But listen, we may have a special guest in a few weeks, somebody that you guys know that's pretty big in the wrestling Twitter space. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Announcements could be coming any day now. But enough with all the sass from all of us. Let's get into a great AEW that happened this past week. And you guys see the name of the show, Kings of the Black Throne. Let's get right into it. Let's start right there. The debut that a lot of people pretty much predicted, right, thought was going to happen last week in Newark. See that? See what I did, Jackie? From the beginning, I was smart. I didn't want you to yell at me, right? So what a lot of people thought was going to happen last week, but because of the injury to Rey Fenix, and you can tell that maybe something was in the works, but it didn't happen. But this week, we finally get it. Brody King debuts to help Malachi Black. And before we get into it, I want to talk about how funny it is that it was a bunch of baby faces jumping the heel. It was like 3-1, and it was like, oh, these are baby faces who are basically gang beatdowning this guy. But it makes sense because Malachi is basically the devil reincarnated, right? I thought this whole time it was us.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
It's Malachi, right? But we get to see Brody King. So Jackie, we should have gotten this last week, but we didn't. So how did it feel to get it this week?
Yeah, I feel like we were robbed in a sense because a little rumor mill going around that this was actually supposed to take place last week. We have no way to confirm or deny that, but it happened this week.
Insider says it was confirmed. I'm going with our insider.
All right, well,
redacted.
We'll go with it. So, the fact that it happened this week was freaking epic. You know, as soon as those lights went out, I loved the little touch of Malachi kind of like pointing and laughing at everybody and then being like, joke's on you, boom, lights go out, and here's freaking Brody King. One thing that we did say over and over again yesterday, and myself included, I did not realize that dude is so huge.
Yo, right?
He looked massive in comparison to everybody, just like a force to be reckoned with. And it was really a perfect way to debut him. And it felt big, it felt important. And you know that I've been steadily on the Malachi Black bandwagon and the House of Black coming into its own and revealing itself. So this was really exciting stuff to happen on Dynamite.
What'd you think, Ant?
I loved it. I think Brody King is a monster. He looks like a badass. He looks like someone who could easily be like the devil's best friend, right? And the story is progressing. And during the Brody King debut, I want to get to something real quick. Is they were beating down Malachi, and Julia Hart stopped them, right? She distracted them for Brody to then come out. I think we all lost that on the excitement that Brody King showed up, that Julia Hart had an eye patch. She was wearing all black, and she stopped them from beating down Malachi, and Malachi started laughing. So I think that's a huge thing. And then directly after, they played that promo with Pac, and it's like, what is happening? I said last week I need movement, and there was just so much movement this week in a span of like 10 minutes that it's like, okay, I'm like drawn in. I'm excited. It was probably the best thing to happen on Dynamite. Obviously, I loved Punk and Wardlow. I thought it was great. Reminded me of Diesel and Bret Hart back in the day. Any Bret Hart mark would know that match. And it was just so perfectly executed. And they play off the lights going out, which is great because last week it was a letdown. So if they did it again this week, I was like, they're going to get so many boos. I was so worried that nobody was going to show up.
And I think it's cool, like what you mentioning, them airing the Pac promo afterwards. It's like what Malachi is doing. He's like infecting the roster, right? Like he always says that like the face paint on him is like a disease and it gets more and more, but also he's a disease to AEW, right? Like he's infecting so many wrestlers, right? He's taking out the Varsity Blondes. He's taking out the Lucha Bros. He's, after the feud that he had with Cody is showing more heel tendencies now. Julia Hart's in an eye patch. Pac is basically Daredevil. He's a great lawyer. Shout out
He's
to
a great lawyer.
Who doesn't get that joke. Sorry, Kyle. Who hasn't seen the Spider-Man movie yet. But it's great to see that when you're in a feud with Malachi, even if you get past it, you're never the same afterwards, right? But so Kyle, how did you feel seeing all this happen this past week?
This is great. I was a little bit familiar with Brody King. I was about to say Brody Lee. Brody King.
It's so hard not to say. It's
from Ring of Honor. So I knew his sheer size was going to be crazy, and then I watched that recently. I'm pretty sure I seen a clip of them two teaming together. Were they not in some indie show recently?
At PWG?
PWG, yeah.
So,
yeah.
So,
at PWG, they're the tag team champions.
Yeah.
So this was it's cool to see. Last week, I believe, if going with our insider who informed us that Brody King was supposed to be debuting last week because of his flight canceling, they had to improvise, and I believe that's probably what that lights out and lights out. I bet you Tony Khan pulled an audible and said, let's just do something to kind of tease it. So let's kind of turn off the lights and then turn it back on during the Penta match and Ray Phoenix match. So it made sense this week when it was Penta to call out Malachi Black, and then Malachi Black comes out, and then the Brody King thing. So I want to go back to what Ant said too about Julia Hart. She was also like wearing the black shirt too, which we haven't seen her wear a black shirt at all ever since she's been with the Varsity Blonde. So
yeah, it's been like cheerleading stuff, and like this was not
the little things, and then this is cool. I want to like give a shout out to Julia Hart because someone like made her cropped her face on like some Pirates of the Caribbean meme. And she loved it, went along with it. So she's been going along with everyone like calling her a pirate all week.
Oh yeah, because of the eye patch.
Yeah, so that's been great. But
she
excited
seems like
for
a
this.
super cool person.
Yeah, I'm excited for
like
this.
She's really cool on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm so pumped though. Like they both have a great look, especially like Brody King basically has like almost all the same tattoos, if not more.
It's crazy. I was showing Brittany last night. I was like, you know nothing, right? Like you're not really into wrestling. You have no clue who these people are. But if I just showed you this and said they're a team, you'd be like 100%. They look like the brothers. Like let's go get tatted together.
It's like if Phil and I were in the same room.
Yeah, and people don't know what to do. Yeah.
So I do think that Pac's going to be with them. It'd be interesting to see if they didn't though. It's weird.
I don't think so.
It just seemed too dark, and they did.
But
they flash him in a cloak, and I'm like, is that
every villain needs a hero, right? And I feel like this is the villain. They flashed him in the cloak, but they also flashed him with his eyes, and then he had the king, and it said justice, and the eyes were carved out, right? So to me, he's going to go after Black and Brody King because if you remembered in the promo that if you remember in the promo, Malachi leaned over and said, "You are so much more than a king now." To Brody King. Pac holding a king card makes me think that's his first target.
But if we're saying that he's spraying people in the face and it's infecting people, Pac's been sprayed twice. And if we're believing that Julia Hart's going to turn, that just doesn't make sense. That Pac.
No, but you have to like accept it. Remember, there's levels to it, right? That's why Cody didn't join the House of Black because like it changed him, but he didn't accept it or whatever. Like Brody King was accepting to share the power or whatever.
I think it's so great that there's so many levels to this.
It's the coolest thing they're doing by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing they're doing.
I love his new eye he had. It's red this week.
Yeah, the red one.
Pitch red. That was great. I think you should keep that. That makes him look more devilish with that one. But the white one's cool too, but I love the red, the aesthetic of it. It would look really good this week. But I'm pumped. Can't wait for next week now. I want to know what.
Yeah, dude, it's incredible. And for anybody, who doesn't necessarily do this, pay attention to Malachi's social media because he does a lot of the kind of in-between storytelling on his social media, on Instagram, on his Twitter. So if you're as in love with this story as a lot of us seem to be, make sure you stay tuned to that. You'll get some cool details, from week to week between the shows. But Ann did mention something earlier, and I want to go to that next. CM Punk versus Wardlow. The match a lot of us wanted to see, and a lot of us equally did not think that CM Punk at this stage of his career, at this stage of his comeback, right, would sign up for an ass beating like this. Yes, he still won the match, but he put Wardlow over to the fucking moon. That is the best way I've ever seen anybody lose a match before. Punk got powerbombed, 7 times, and then another time on the outside. Like, it was just incredible. Ant, you're the CM Punk guy. How crazy was it to see your boy take that type of beating last night?
It was really cool to see because I was, as we were watching together, as we do every Wednesday night, I said, Punk's probably grateful that he's not wrestling Ryback because, my God, he would have died from all that beating. Wardlow, there was one powerbomb that looked really rough. I thought that CM Punk smacked his head. But overall, like, what a rub to give to someone, right? Like, again, it's the way that Punk puts somebody over without that guy going over in the win column. Wardlow comes out looking like a star. It plants the seed for the MJF feud. When Wardlow turns, he's going to be the biggest babyface. People are going to be cheering him. They already are cheering him. Last night, there was split chance, and he's fighting CM Punk. That says a lot. So I really do think that once it becomes, once like Wardlow gets out of MJF shadows, it's I can see him being TNT champion. It's all systems go. And I just love that Punk actually took that beating. And I love that Punk keeps coming up with Bret Hart finishes because that's my favorite thing in the world.
What do you think about it, Kyle?
My boy Sean Spears, man. Now he's got to face CM. He's got a warm-up match on Rampage, which I think Spears is going to win, or maybe like Wardlow like cost Spears the match.
Does anybody know who that guy he's facing is?
I don't know. No. He's verified on Twitter, so
I'm not familiar. Like, I know the name.
Andrew Everett.
I swear I've seen him.
If anybody who's listening live in the chat right now, if you guys know any backstory on Andrew Everett, please put it in the chat because I'm honestly curious. Not a shot at the guy. I've never heard of him before. And to get a premiere match on Rampage is only in an hour. And I know they cram so much into that hour, but like you're getting a match on Rampage where people who were in the company are not. So you've got to be a pretty big deal. We got Adam in the chat saying Andrew Everett is great. It's cool.
Kimmy says he was an Impact in 2016.
Okay. Well, this match was, regardless, Wardlow and CM Punk killed it. Kudos to CM Punk for taking 300 power bombs from Wardlow. I was joking with Phil, going like, "Oh, well, this is something they do. This is something WWE does to someone when they're sending them out." Punk's Royal Rumble confirmed.
yeah, right. So the funny thing is with like this forbidden door being open now to WWE, with them working with Impact or just using Mickey for the night or whatever. There's all let's have fun, right? I think it's hilarious that Kyle says CM Punk to the Royal Rumble confirmed. Like we all know it's not going, but like that is literally what happens. Somebody gets their ass kicked.
Our boy Chris said Andrew Everett's dude is one of the most talented high flyers in the Indies.
Okay. So, Kimmy also said he blew his knee out. That's why he hasn't wrestled in a while.
Ooh, okay. That sucks. Yo, I love the War Dog stuff, though. His new attire this week was sweet.
Oh, great.
And his new shirt's really...
The new shirt looks...
New shirts.
Anybody else walk around in a tank top and just, like, fix it?
Yeah.
Like Wardlow
fix it like Wardlow.
Listen, I don't want to fix the tank top. I want to... Yeah, no, Jackie, that'd be a problem. We'd have to charge for that if you walked around.
Patreon exclusive.
I want to get in his tank top and walk around with him. You know what I mean? Is that...
Like a kangaroo pouch.
At what level tier do I have to subscribe to AEW?
When can Wardlow become a kangaroo and I hang out in his pouch?
His pouch, oh my God.
His punch.
Can't spell, can't speak.
We're having a really good night.
Jackie, what do you think of everything? Yeah, please.
No, I thought, like you guys said, it was a really smart way to not kill Wardlow's momentum. See, now I can't speak either. Wow. I
can't spoke either.
Wow.
I think we're so flustered thinking about Wardlow's muscles in that.
Yeah, we're gonna blame Wardlow on this one. Mm-hmm. No, it's really good that they went with MJF jumping up on the ring apron and saying, "No, don't pin him. I want you to like powerbomb him more," because it gives the illusion that if he hadn't interfered, would Punk have taken the loss in that match? So it leaves enough reasonable doubt in order for Wardlow to still look incredibly dominant. But man, I feel so sorry for Punk's brain cells after last night because what was it, 7 or 8 power bombs that guy took? It was just, it was 8, a lot. Right? And then, one of them being through a table. I'm like, damn, Punk is, he's great, but he's no spring chicken either. Just like, protect that man's neck and head. But no, overall,
he just got back, and they're like, let's just throw you through a table
let's just rattle you around a little bit.
They're gonna give him a 2-week vacation. He'll be all right. Now. Well, I mean, he's got to face Sean Spears next week, so maybe not.
Yeah,
it has to be building. Is it building for Revolution? I'm guessing.
Yeah,
are we waiting that long now?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
When is Revolution? March.
It's the March.
It's either going to be a Revolution
6th, I think.
Beach break in 2 weeks.
Bash at the beach.
Beach
wait,
break.
no, you can't do that.
Break.
Beach break.
No, cease and desist.
Yeah,
bash at the beach.
But speaking of somebody taking time off, let's talk about the incredible match that was Shida versus Serena Deeb. Now we saw Serena Deeb attack Shida and just beat the fucking shit out of her, and then which leads to her winning the match and then attacking her afterwards. And now we're hearing reports that Shida's going to be away from a while. She has a project or something going on in Japan, so she shouldn't be on TV for a while. And it seems like they're going to transition Serena into feuding with the other women we saw next week. She's fighting Sky Blue on Dynamite. But Jackie, what did you think of Shida versus Serena and the way they kind of handled everything?
I thought it was interesting because I wouldn't say it was a great match, per se. I thought it was great storytelling in the fact that Serena Deeb came out there before, Shida's entrance was even done. She was attacking her from behind. She was whooping ass with that kendo stick. Very vicious streak, and I love that about Serena Deeb. Shout out to Shida with that selling, though, because my God, she was screaming like she was in agony. So every bit of it was very intense and very believable. It was, a good way to give Shida her send off if she's going to be taking a little time off to do another project. But it was also a great way to build Serena Deeb as this complete vicious badass. And I really love that they're, intensifying the women's storylines in this way. And like you said, at the end, they transition to what will likely be the next set of feuds for Serena Deeb.
Man, what do you think, Kyle?
If she is going to Japan, whatever she's going to do, she will be gone for a long time because I know that their COVID protocol over there is, if you're coming in from another country, you have to quarantine for something like 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
Isn't it 2 weeks?
It's nuts over there. So she'll be gone for a while. And then I guarantee when she comes back, they'll kick back that feud again, getting hurt. She'll get her revenge on Serena. But I'm glad they're going to go ahead and I think we were talking about it when we were watching that. We couldn't wait for Serena to go through the roster and have more of these epic matches with some more roster talents. We know that there's a lot of other people that will have that she'll have really good matches with that are that's just I can sit here and make a list of everyone I want her to face, and it's literally almost everybody.
Whole roster.
Next week she starts with Sky Blue, but this match was great. I love seeing this vicious side out of Serena Deeb. It goes so well with her character, and she does it so well. And there's not really much else to say. I can't wait for this feud to come back, and we'll see what happens and sign Sky Blue for sure.
I hope that this goes into like a more long-term feud. I hope this isn't just 3 weeks of Serena running through Ty, Anna, Sky. I kind of hope that it like lands on Ty Conti and they can have like a 3-4 week feud, a short-term feud that can kind of get us to the even Revolution, right? And that could be another marquee women's match because I feel like they're doing a good job of focusing not on just titles, but sometimes like they should have rode the wave of momentum that Ty and the Bunny had, specifically those two, from that lights out like death match, right? Because I feel like everybody was talking about that. I feel like that would have been the time to now ride that momentum where maybe Ty just comes out for the save and then it's Ty versus Serena for a little bit. That's just kind of my feelings on it. I'm glad that we're going to get to see different women's matches, obviously. But I just want to see that another feud because Serena and Shida has been so good for so long that now there's a void you have to fill in that women's division of feuds.
And if people remember last year, I think around March, Ty Conti had that one-off match with Serena, and it was excellent. And, Serena is not only a fantastic wrestler, but for people who don't know, maybe you're living under a rock, Serena was one of the head trainers at the. So, and she's definitely helps with the training at AEW as well. So in reality, you could put her in the ring with pretty much anybody on that roster and you're going to get a fantastic match out of it, right? She's that good that she can pull girls up to her level. Obviously, yes, I would love to see her with Ty Conti, but don't forget about Anna too, man. Anna's the one who got the victory in that street fight, right? With that great creative way to use the barbed wire around her arm to do the Queen Slayer. So, hey, maybe it starts with Sky, goes to Ty Conti, and we get a feud with Anna, right? Maybe they're prepping Anna to maybe go in a feud with Jade down the line, or Ty to go into a feud with Jade down the line, right? So who knows? Maybe this is all to build up. And this is what we love to see, though, right? We love to see the fact that women are getting multiple storylines in the show. Now, as we say every week, let's get multiple matches. And next week, technically, because there's a mixed tag match, we do have 2 women's matches on the show. So that's a good start. And I'm very excited about that. And hopefully, neither one of them have picture-in-picture in it, or Jackie's going to fuck somebody. Now, speaking of the mixed tag match, let's talk about the segment that led up to it. So Dynamite starts off this week with Adam Cole and Red Dragon coming out, cutting a promo, calling themselves the New Era. Kyle breathed a sigh of relief that they didn't name themselves Paragon in that moment.
It's going to be Paragon
I thought they were going to use it. So we'll see with that, which ends up with the Young Bucks coming out with Brandon Cutler. It was great to see Matt Jackson and Brandon Cutler back from the COVID protocols they had to do. They had COVID. They had to be gone. But now they're back, which leads to the Best Friends coming out. We get the face-off between Cole and Statlander when she was protecting Orange. Surprise, Britt Baker comes out and leads to that, which leads to the greatest spot ever. Everyone's posting the picture. Ant's calling them the power couple. We all agree. Britt and Adam Cole kiss on TV, which brings their relationship to TV, which I think is pretty cool because AEW does not hide what's happening in reality, which leads to this mixed tag match. And with all that being said, Ant, are you excited for this mixed tag match next week?
I am. It kind of saved the. I think Malachi Black was coming out. It kind of saved the segment for me because I didn't want to see the same shit. It's always the Best Friends versus somebody, multi-man, and I love that they're now. Let's do first off the Chris Adam Cole stare down was fucking lit, and I was hyped for it. But then as soon as they stare down, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to have Britt on TV with Adam Cole. This is going to be so dope. And now the way that now they're doing the mixed tag, which just adds something. Has there been a mixed tag in AEW? Not many, right?
There might have been one.
There's
been the Cody Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jade.
Yes.
I'm sure there's been Cody and Brandy versus somebody at some point.
It's not often used, right? And I feel like that is
Orange and Statlander. That's what I was
Orange and Statlander versus Kip and Penelope. Was that the match?
That was probably before my time of watching weekly.
Yo, shout out to Kip, who's at ringside every single week. If anyone
with the bag over his head,
with the box over his head.
Yeah. And talking to Carrie, shout out to Carrie. Here's where we get to our weekly shout out to her. We were talking about it, and she was saying that she heard they're just waiting for him to be cleared from his injury. He had a very bad shoulder injury, and they're just waiting for him to get the clearance to come back.
I love he's just not just chilling backstage. He's making a gimmick out of this, and he posts pictures of himself in the box like every week online. And now he's literally at ringside every week. If you guys look closely, he's literally sitting at ringside with the box on his head every single week.
Yeah, Fretz, I think you're right. I think Joey Janela and Kayla Rossi did one on Dark.
Yeah, my brother's in there saying Kenny did team with Riho versus I think it was Kip and Penelope also.
Yeah, on the cruise.
On the cruise, yeah.
Yeah. So they've done it before, but like Ant said, it's not. They don't do it a lot, so it's pretty cool. And like I said before, it's cool that we're really getting the Britt and Adam Cole relationship on television because we get hints of it and people make little comments about it. And I know Adam Cole went at Tony Schiavone on TV, but they've never been passionate on TV, if that's a good way to say it, or showed any type of affection on TV. Yeah. It was more an off-camera thing. So I think it's pretty cool that they're doing it. But what do you think, Jackie?
I loved it. I freaking loved it so much. And it was just really cool to me to see it become canon. It's like you said, there were references to it, but it's you never really see them on screen together. Not only did we see them on screen together, we got to see them practically making out in the ring, which was which is just great. I have been pining for more intergender matches, even if they have to be mixed tags at this point. I'm for it. So them taking this step, and hopefully it will continue to be expanded upon in the near future. But I wasn't sure if we would see Adam Cole and Britt Baker team. I'm like, are they going to want to try to like not lean into that too much and keep them, separate, doing their own things? So the fact that they are coming together for a match like this, and to have Statlander and Orange Cassidy on the opposite side of that equation, it's going to be a lot of fun to see, I think.
So yes, it's Lane in the chat talking about how
what up, Lane?
They wish they could get a picture with Kip. So if you guys go to your shows, as soon as the door opens, he's usually walking around the lower bowl, like not in the arena, like where there's like the merch stands and stuff, and you'll see him because he has the mask on. The 2 times that we went to Newark and then Grand Slam, he did it. I think maybe it wasn't yet.
You've changed.
I have to say it, bro. I don't want Jackie to yell at me.
You fucking changed, bro.
I don't want Jackie to yell at me.
Fucking sell out.
All right, so
he knows the truth.
And he's around, so you can see him. You'll definitely have more opportunities to get to meet him. But Kyle, these are your boys, right? Undisputed Era, Red Dragon, Paragon, whatever they're going to be called.
The paradigm shift.
How do you feel that they're still teasing this tension between the Bucks and Red Dragon, which hopefully, fingers crossed, leads to Cole versus Omega down the line?
Yeah. Firstly, I know people in the chat is like, oh, no one, I think it was Lane's, and oh, no one liked Undisputed Era at first. I was the lucky few that loved Undisputed Era.
Yeah, I didn't like it
first.
Either.
I liked it at first. Just Paragon. I think I'm just that bitter guy who.
It is too close to Paradigm to me. I don't know.
Yeah, but everything in this company is too close.
Listen, I'm just
bitter.
That's
how they do it here.
I'm just bitter because they can't do the
GTS and a GTH in the same company.
I just bitter.
Yeah.
Listen, I just bitter they can't do the hand gesture anymore. If they did Paragon, what are you gonna do? You're not throwing these peas up. That's not a thing. They're not doing the.
They just all whip their peas out.
Paragon.
So the peas in the chat for Paragon. Peas in the chat.
Anyways, I mentioned when we were watching the show that this literally is screaming that it's ultimately going to lead because they mentioned that both the Bucks want the tag titles again, and Red Dragon's like, well, what a coincidence. We want our New Year's resolution is we want the tag titles again, and then where this is going. It's going to lead to there's going to be a number 1 contenders match when there'll probably be a tournament. It's going to end with Red Dragon against the Young Bucks. And then I would love to say that, Red Dragon's going to win. They'll go on, maybe win the tag team belts. Maybe that starts, again, the shift, more of a shift for Adam Cole going with his boys, Red Dragon. Maybe Adam Cole wins the TNT belt eventually. I don't think he's going to get the world title.
He's winning the world title. He win that TNT fucking belt.
The world title.
Past that.
And then, you know what I mean? And then when Kenny comes back, they feud over the world title belt. But who knows? Tony Khan's got the whole year booked already, so we'll see what happens.
It's funny because I was the one that was like 2 weeks ago, like, I wouldn't mind seeing Hangman drop the title. And now I'm like, nah. This dude's giving us 3 like classics in a row.
Well, I don't mean right now.
Do not drop that title.
Not yet.
I hope we get Hangman. Hangman versus Cole.
No, because Cole and Kenny are going to face each other at All Out.
I want Hangman versus Punk, but I think Cole and Kenny are going to do Double or Nothing. I think you'll see Kenny back in about a month or 2.
Hopefully.
That's tough. With 2 surgeries he had.
I wouldn't think that's
the one shoulder surgery was bad. He was cupping himself for like over a year, man.
Yeah. It might be a while for him, but speaking of Hangman,
it's been a while.
Definitely something I want to bring up. So we get Hangman coming out, cutting a promo on the everything that happened with Bryan Danielson, kind of looking towards the future. We get something that a lot of people weren't happy about, and I want to shout out that who I wish I said it last night while we were watching it, but I got caught up in the promo and forgot. But when Dan Lambert first walks out, you hear someone in the crowd go, "For fuck's sake!" And it's you hear it so clear, literally so clear. So shout out to that person who said.
My favorite thing about watching with you guys is like there'll be like a promo, and then you'll hear crowd go, "Oh!" and like I'm still so far behind that he's just owing over my promo. And then when we start talking, he's like, "All right, guys, I want to hear this." I was like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Yeah, you're like 10 seconds ahead of us.
Yeah.
No,
what the
but
fuck?
I just
cool
gonna stay
about
mute
this
on the
promo,
whole Dynamite. Just keep myself on mute.
The cool thing about the promo, yes, Lambert isn't everybody's cup of tea. I think it's great though because he's like the ultimate heel, and And the stuff that he was saying to Hangman was cool, right? Because he's mentioning all these older.
He actually had like wrestling history, which was cool. It wasn't like,
cool.
"Hey, you're a bitch."
Yeah. But
I don't like
thing
you.
for me was we saw the return of Lance Archer, which he's been gone for a while, dealing with his injury that he had in match where he almost knocked himself silly. So it's cool to see him back, and it's great that we're gonna get Hangman versus Archer in the short term. And I think honestly, I would love to see Lambert be Archer's mouthpiece, because I don't know what's going on with Jake the Snake. I don't know if he had COVID and maybe they're keeping him away because it's spreading like wildfire right now. And I mean, if anybody is high risk, it's going to be Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Lambert get away from Man of the Year and go to Archer. But Archer versus Hangman should be great. Jackie,
I wanted to ask Jackie something this time, actually, Phil, because this was a huge like conversation point a couple weeks ago when Lambert was cutting a promo. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of Dan Lambert, but what I saw last night was a little bit more respectable of a promo as a fan. I know we had this conversation a couple weeks ago. Did you think this kind of Dan Lambert, still annoying, but it suits him a little bit better?
I think it was a more toned down version. There was one point where he said something about the Village People where I was like, is he going in this direction? Like, are we making homophobic jokes? Like, are we going there?
But he didn't go there.
He stopped himself. He was on the line, though.
Yeah, he rode the line, but he didn't lean all the way into it. A part of me says, was the promo more respectable because he was talking to a man, as opposed to him talking to a woman? And
I mean, you're not wrong.
No, but he just had, to me, he had more history behind, more knowledge. It sounded like an educated promo. It wasn't just him. Yeah. It wasn't him screaming piss ants. Like,
if he would have done that earlier on, I may have given it a pass because it was one of the more tolerable promos from him. I still can't stand it. Like, it's just, again, it's not for me. I loved Hangman Page's initial reaction when he's like, "Oh my God, just shoot me," and I'm like, yeah.
No, what about his line where he was like, "You walking Facebook profile"?
Yeah,
which was like, "Oh, Hangman, that's the fucking joke of the night, bro." That was such a good one.
Yeah, no. So in terms of like the scale from like where he has really like pushed me over the edge in the wrong direction, last night was like I said, it was tolerable, but I think that the big takeaway from this was the swerve with Lance Archer coming out, and you think he's going to go after Lambert and then goes after Hangman and sets up that feud. I don't know that I necessarily need to see Lambert with Archer, and that's probably just because I don't want to see Lambert, period.
I think you might, though, because Lance Archer can't talk at all.
No.
Lance Archer cannot cut a promo to save his life, man.
He certainly can't, and I'm completely with you on that.
And Adam in the chat is saying that so Jake is on oxygen right now since his battle with COVID. So I mean,
God damn,
Archer,
please
need a mouth.
Please keep Jake away until this shit's over, please.
Yeah,
like that dude has fought so hard to be alive. Like, with all the shit he's been through, like let's keep him healthy, please.
Absolutely.
Like
and before we go any further, shout out to Demon Diva Issa.
Hey,
one of our close friends. Whoa. It is her birthday. Yesterday it was her birthday.
Happy birthday! It was 2 days ago.
2 days ago, belated. I don't even know what day of the week it is.
It was 2 days ago. I was on a cool show with a bunch of famous people. I was in way over my head.
Yeah. So everybody, make sure you wish NYC Demon Diva in the chat live, or you go to NYC Demon Diva on Twitter and wish her a happy birthday week. Because we know when it's someone's birthday, it's a birthday week.
I love when you just say birthday.
What is it?
Birthday. It's not a birthday. It's a birth.
A day of
birth, man.
Yeah, we birthed them.
We birthed.
Oh, with an F?
I sunned y'all boys. You're Kevin Johnson. I birthed them.
Because I say it with an F. You know I got kicked out of English class for that once?
It's like the people that say Valentine's Day. It's Valentine. That's my pet peeve. My pet peeve is that people say Valentine's Day. What time is it? It's Valentine's Day.
My pet peeve is when people can't
spell
on Twitter.
Who the hell says that?
Yeah, I hate when people can't spell.
Listen to people talk. Listen to people talk, and you'll say.
My pet peeve is that I can't count over 30.
I'm with Ant, though. I've heard people say that, so I know what he's talking about.
Big Bobski.
Yeah. So yeah. What else happened last night that we could talk about? trying to think. We get this.
I thought Hangman's segment was cool though.
We had the main event.
Wait,
that was for.
Go ahead.
We had a main event. We had a main event that was for the TNT title, and Phil's asking what we're talking about.
Kyle, go ahead.
No, that's okay.
No, go ahead. Don't.
There he goes. At least once every episode.
Come on, like Kyle, I got into a war because of your stupid tweet today. Can you please just talk?
I gotta use Google Translate or something, man. I suck at spelling. Anyways,
oh boy.
Yeah, it was definitely a different direction than I thought they were going to. Because I was wondering what. Because as soon as I seen them saying Hangman was going to be on the show tonight, I'm like, okay, we're going to get the direction of where this world title is going to go. Are they going to continue with Bryan Danielson, or are they going to transition to someone new? Clearly, they went with someone new. It kind of looks like maybe Revolution. It'll be Lance Archer. We don't know. They could announce next week at Beach Break.
They're blowing that off right at the Beach Bash or whatever. It's Beach Party, Barbie's Beach Dream House. The fuck is it called? Beach Break.
So I'm curious as to what they have. I guess we'll have to wait. I guess I'll have to wait, but I'm curious to see what they have in line for his world title now at Revolution, because
it's gonna be Revolution's their WrestleMania. You gotta remember, okay? Yeah. Tony Khan has said this.
He's coming back to this.
Right. Revolution. It's WrestleMania.
So it's definitely at Spring Break, MTV Spring Break 2022 that Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk, is fighting Hangman Page. It's going to be the marquee match.
Yeah. Okay.
That's going to be the new gimmick on our show.
It's going to be huge.
Messing up Beach Break.
It's going to be ball, huge.
Beach Ball Bonanza. What the fuck?
Calling it.
Well, first off, all right, it's Beach Break. You are in January. You are in Cleveland,
Ohio.
What the fuck in Olaf's name are you doing? It's like they think what Olaf felt in Frozen. Olaf felt in Frozen like he wanted summertime.
Explanation here. Yeah.
They did it last year at this time, and I think February, but it was in Miami. So, it made sense, right? It made sense. Not in Cleveland, where it was like,
hey, it's going to be a big event, man. Gargano's probably going to debut at that Beach Break.
Or maybe a Moxley return.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah.
Or both. It's going to be both. I don't know, man. I just something about a Beach Break in Cleveland, Ohio, when I know
January.
It's like 18 degrees there.
Yeah,
he's gonna be called Johnny Beach Break.
Johnny Beach Break.
God, yeah.
That's gonna be a shirt.
My thing is, AEW fans, don't take beach balls to the arena, please. Even though it's a themed pay-per-view.
Did they even do that last year, though?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think they stopped it. But now let's go to the match that Amp brought up. Sammy versus Daniel Garcia for the interim TNT Championship. And we saw on this telecast that Cody Rhodes coming back next week, which pissed one of our members off heavily. So I'm going to them first. Jackie, what did you think of this main event first? And then what did you think of Cody Rhodes only being gone for 2 weeks, but them still feeling like they had to make an interim champion?
The main event was solid. You knew that when you have two competitors like Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia, that you're going to get a good match. Was it my favorite match of the night? Not necessarily. And it may have been, I didn't catch sloppiness necessarily. I mean,
it was a little sloppy.
I would say towards the very end, yeah, there may have been some moves that
they went too hard.
Executed.
Like they're like, okay, we're gonna go out there and pretend like we just absolutely can't stand each other. They kind of went too hard.
Yeah, they went out the gate like slapping the shit out of each other. It was just like it was intense to start off with. It kind of went out with a whimper in comparison. Okay, I want to clarify. It's not that I'm pissed that Cody is coming back. I'm happy that Cody is coming back because that means that he's healthy. Mad. No, I'm not. I'm really not.
Last night, all you said was, I can't believe fucking Cody Rhodes is coming back to put himself over to win another accolade and cut a long-minute promo.
No,
that's what she said.
He just belongs in Gorilla. He shouldn't be out there stealing time away from young talent.
Yeah, young talent like Dustin Rhodes and Matt.
First off,
please hold up. No.
We were there last night. You can't swerve us. Okay, we were there. We heard what you said.
I was there in Newark, and I was there last night.
Somebody thinks that they're serious. No, I never said that. Okay, what I did say was he was gone for 2 weeks. Now, there are people that have championships that go for a couple weeks, 3 weeks without defending it. So why in the hell? And this is why I look at the camera and I don't look at the screen.
I tried so hard not to burst out.
Oh my god. This is what happens. The one woman on the show decides she wants to talk, and then everybody.
Here we go. We're all Dan Lambert here. You know what, guys? Let's go on strike. Jackie,
no,
show.
Aunt, better. Aunt, come back. Aunt, where'd he go? Aunt,
He's gone.
If y'all want to be lying on my name, saying that I said some stuff about Cody Rhodes that I absolutely didn't say, now I haven't even gotten to my damn.
No. And we got something better. We're gonna go to picture in picture now that Jackie's talking.
Let's go to picture in picture. Jackie's talking. Put up the Patreon for this.
Jamie's in the chat. I wish she was here to save me because damn, y'all are on some other shit.
All right, but go ahead, Jackie.
Anyway,
you're gonna look at this face and you're gonna tell me that isn't the man that should be the champion.
Look at that face.
That's the thing. He should have never had to drop the belt. I get that COVID is unpredictable, right? And it's like, projected is 2 weeks. You don't know for sure if it's going to be 2 weeks, but just go off the basis. Why did we have to do an interim title?
Because they want the sports feel. And I can't believe I'm sticking up for this, but they said they wanted a sports feel. And that's what happens in like UFC. When you can't defend the title, they have someone go for the title. And then when you get back, you have to refight for the championship. But at the same token, I'm playing devil's advocate. Because for me, if you're only going to be gone for 2 weeks, just don't have a fucking match in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just think that they absolutely didn't have to do that. If, I'll wait to see how it plays out. If they're going to make this massive, great storyline out of it, okay, fine. I'll try to be patient and be receptive to it. Just to me, logically, did not make sense. And that was my gripe about it.
What do you think, Ant? As you're putting Cody on your mic,
audio
listeners, that's the sound that you're hearing.
Cody's coming back. And I don't, and like I said, I was just playing devil's advocate. I don't really agree that we should have had an interim champion for 2 weeks. It's just, to me, this sounds bad, but it's gonna get Cody more heat. Oh, heat. Sorry, I love Twitter. I hate Twitter. But it's gonna get Cody more heat because it's another accolade that he's gonna have. He's gonna now be the undisputed TNT champion, right? That's gonna happen at Bash on the Boardwalk at the end of January
in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Blast in the beach.
Yeah, it's gonna be at Beach Blizzard 2022. It's gonna be that unification title match. But again, it's gonna get him some heat because he's gonna beat Sammy and be the undisputed champion. So maybe that's what they want.
4-time though? Do you think they'll turn around and give him that heat of now he's saying he's a 4-time TNT champion? Or
he could. He could.
Goddamn, that'll be obnoxious as hell.
But I mean that's gonna come off in 2 weeks on Brawl at the beachfront.
Beach Slam.
At the Battle of Beaches.
Survivor Beach.
Take notes of every name that Ant says up until Beach Break, and so we could read it on air.
Yes.
Elimination Beach.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
I can't wait though, because that beach show is gonna be fucking dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be incredible. But Kyle, what'd you think of the match between Sammy and Daniel Garcia?
The match itself was interesting. Like I said, they went really hard at each other in the beginning, and even Sammy tweeted he's got a bum knee, and he kind of hurt himself a little bit, but he still can call himself champion. I'm like, they went right at each other. Beach Jewel, the names in the chat.
Beach Chamber, Beach Jewel,
but Beach Rumble, Beach Series, Beach Slam,
Beach Mania,
Beach Lash.
Beach in the bank. Beach in the bank.
Super Beach Showdown.
Hell on the beach.
But yeah, the match is great. I didn't like the end. All the stuff that happened after I couldn't care for. The way they ended Dynamite, I'm like, really does nothing for me. They did the whole inner circle segment too, which really
I thought it was one of their stronger ones with Jericho and Kingston going face to face, because at least they cut at a moment where you're like, oh, is Kingston gonna hit him? At least they cut there.
I like the backstage segment when Kingston interrupted and he dropped the line where, why you two were never world tag team champions, and he pointed at Jericho. I'm like, okay.
Yes, I mean I love that.
Kingston gave us the gift that I hope stays around forever of him sliding in the screen hey.
Yeah. But yeah.
They should have Wardlow powerbomb a shark for the ad.
For Beach
Wow.
Yeah, remember SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar
F5? Lesnar F5 the Shark. Yeah, 100% have Wardlow powerbomb a Shark.
But they should have him run in slow motion like he's Pamela Anderson.
Just have him powerbomb the Katy Perry Shark.
Oh, no, Shark Boy. He ain't doing nothing, bro. Bring back Shark Boy. No,
that Pamela Anderson was on, and then Zac Efron and The Rock redid.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens at Beach Mageddon in 2 weeks. Shout out to Black Baymax in the chat.
But
wow.
Anything else from the show that we want to talk about? One thing I do.
Oh, Baywatch. That's what it was called.
All right. So we get the announcement of a very special match that should be happening soon, which is FTR versus I wanted to say Sean Dean. What the fuck is his name? Lee Johnson and Brock.
Big Shoddy Lee.
Brock Anderson.
Brock.
Jackie, how do you feel this match is gonna go? And Dax calling Arn Daddy.
Daddy.
Oh my God! They basically said disown your ain't shit son because you know we're the ones that are gonna do.
He said break up with your son because I'm bored.
No, I mean I think it'll be a good match. I think it'll probably end up being a quick match if I'm predicting correctly because
so is that happening next week?
They said it was happening. Like they said, we're challenging you to a match next week. But when they did the final, read off of the card for next week, they didn't mention it. So I was like,
Rampage?
I was gonna say next week's Rampage, maybe. I don't know, but I think it'll be good. I like how they're leading into this whole 4 horsemen vibe, and they're trying to get Arn Anderson leave your dead weight behind and come up and join with us, and we'll see how that goes. I don't think Arn Anderson is gonna walk off on his son. He'll pull out the Glock before he disowns.
Oh, he's gonna pull out the Glock.
Everyone in the chat going about the WWE names. Guys forgetting about Impact. What about Beachiversary or Beach for Glory? Hard to Beach.
For Glory. Hard to Beach. That's the one. Hard to Beach is my favorite one so far. Hard to Beach.
It is hard to beach in freaking Cleveland, Ohio.
Beaches be tripping.
Beaches be tripping.
Beaches. Shut up, Brett. Beaches be tripping.
And that's the show in 2 weeks. Beaches.
Yo,
be
that
tripping.
would be the name of a Ring of Honor paper. Beaches be tripping. Coming to Baltimore.
It's in Cleveland.
In January.
What has happened in Cleveland since LeBron James left?
They made the Indians change their name.
They're the Guardians.
The Guardians of the Beaches.
The Guardians of the Beaches.
Guardians of the Beaches. But as we said, another incredible night of wrestling. Now, a little bit of a preview from Rampage. We did touch on this one match before. You have Shawn Spears versus Andrew Everett, which the chat is telling us is a very good indie wrestler, so look forward to that. Jurassic Express versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds, which would be a fun match. Trent Beretta versus Adam Cole. Chris Statlander.
Just saying, Adam Cole and Trent Beretta is probably going to be match of the night on Friday.
Yep.
I think so too.
Because those two are really, really good. And also probably even Silver and Reynolds, because shout out to their segment this week. We need more John Silver doing promos on television, because I was laughing that entire time. He was fantastic. I don't know how that guy doesn't get more comedy bits on TV, man. That will draw ratings if you keep putting him on TV. I'll watch Dynamite solely to watch a John Silver promo. That's how good he is.
Hey, shout out to Shawn Spears, who I think in this past week celebrated 20 years in the business, right? Kyle?
Damn right he did. 20 years of excellence, man. I was there 20 years ago. No,
yeah, you were there from day one. We also have Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch, and Red Velvet versus Nyla, Penelope, and the Bunny. And then we have a special look at the history between Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez. How they're going to fit all of that into a 1-hour show, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, dude. At this point, just show it commercial-free and add another match. Those 15 minutes you spent on commercials, you give us another match. And then Dynamite preview for next week, Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander versus Adam Cole and Britt Baker. CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. Yeah, Serena Deeb versus Sky Blue. Cody Rhodes is returning, which Jackie's excited about. And the Acclaimed versus Sting and Darby Allin. The Acclaimed had a pretty good match. Everyone loves the Acclaim, and they have another big match against Sting versus Darby. Sting destroyed Anthony Bowen's boombox, which is such an old man thing to do. Ant was very upset when Sting walked out.
I was not.
Before, the lights went out too, man. It was great.
Before we go to the end of the show and start promoting everything, what if lights turned on, Sting joined House of Black? Would you have been upset?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he would be very upset.
It would go.
There's only 2 people that I really want to join House of Black. Actually, 3 people. If you don't do Julie Hart, and that's Butcher the Bunny and Blade should be in House of Black.
I agree.
Like they are made for that faction.
Yeah, especially after Bunny having her bloody war.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of, I don't hate Sting. I was disappointed the one time, and then they made up for it, and they had CM Punk come out as Surfer Sting. After
and it was fine.
I talked about Surfer Sting, which nobody has. We don't talk about Surfer Sting. No. Well, I did, and then they did that, so they made up for it.
Well, as we go to the end of the show, remember you guys can support us at patreon.com/ElitePOV. If you're not here live, twitch.tv/ElitePOV. Every week on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we go live. If you don't catch that, the replays are available anywhere you get your podcast, and also youtube.com/ElitePOV, where they go up about a day, maybe a day and a half later, depending on how long YouTube wants to fuck me with these uploads.
Wow.
If you want to follow the show, it's at ElitePOV on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Elite POV Clips on Twitch. You can follow me at Philium Elite. And let them know where they can follow you.
Don't fucking follow me. Fuck Twitter. I'm done with social media. It's fucking, it's bullshit. I'd rather people just say shit to my face. Fuck the social media. Fuck it. Okay. 2, I want to talk to our listeners. Don't fucking pity vote me. I don't want him to wear my fucking shirt.
Well, I'm wearing your shirt on Saturday now.
I don't want you to.
Hey,
Fuck that shirt.
I was even in the vote.
Oh my God.
I wore your shirt already, Kyle.
Yo, you should be every week. You should be wearing my shirt every week.
I lost every week. I'm the last person. I'm the fucking king of talk style. The king of this castle, this kingdom I built as I sit on my fucking throne, and you guys are voting for everybody else? Come on. What are you doing? I don't want your pity. We burned the shirt live on air on Saturday.
Hey, hold up. Maybe we're getting the sympathy votes. You ever think of it that way? Maybe people are voting for the rest of us because they're taking pity on us.
Don't you think we have the pity 4,000 followers? Be quiet, Jackie. No one talking to you. Talking to people in the chat.
We're talking to our 30 listeners right now, okay?
Yes, all 30 of you. We're going to go name by name. Name all 30 of you.
I'm not even the one talking shit, and I'm the one that's in this, right? Like, what the fuck?
Jackie, could they follow you for a sense of normalcy?
Yeah, if you want a calm, cool, collected experience, you can follow
That was an old Patreon show.
Yeah, we had a show called that.
Stole that too.
Oh, well, really? At Love You Make 24 on Twitter and at Jax the Draw POV on Instagram.
Kyle, let them know where they can follow you.
You can follow me at all for all my unedited tweets. You can follow me at All Elite Kyle. I am pure. I am raw. You get what you get with me on Twitter. There ain't no edit button for me.
He's actually going to change his name to Second Grade Spelling Bee Champion.
Yeah. Confirmed. That's going to be confirmed after the show. I'll be changing my Twitter name at least to Second Grade Spelling Bee Champion. That's where you can find me on Twitter.
Oh my God.
Well, remember, guys, we are doing another live show Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
I'll be on.
Ant will be on this week. I will be wearing Ant's shirt, and he'll be
No,
shitting on me.
We're burning it. You come with that fucking shirt. I'm driving
I'll be
to
wearing one of your
Poughkeepsie.
shirts,
Believe me.
though.
I was about to take a longer drive today. I will drive to Poughkeepsie.
Maybe I want you to come.
I'll be wearing the bitch-ass coffee shirt, so.
Okay, yes, we're doing another live show. We should have, fingers crossed, if everything goes right, the entire Elite POV team, all 6 of us. So it'll definitely be a show you want to catch, twitch.tv/ElitePOV. If you're listening back on podcast, 10 a.m. Eastern for that. And thank you guys for listening to Elite POV. And remember, you don't need 30 followers or 30 listeners to be a cowboy. Bye.